Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Philosmos. My name is Fumani and today I've got an interesting topic for you which is titled the plasticity of reality. So the normal premise of our ordinary existence is that reality is real, that it is concrete and it is what it is, it's physical. So I really urge you, if you're not privy to quantum physics, actually go out and study it, research it, because the discoveries of quantum physics have actually broken and bent every belief that we have held, almost every belief that we have held about the physical universe, about our physical experience of life. So in this video, I'm going to be unraveling some of them. One that I can think of right now is the fact that we are all comprised of atoms. Okay, every physical system, every physical object is comprised of atoms. I am comprised of atoms. The trees, my house, the bricks that I'm sitting on right now, my dog, the car, every single thing that you can think of that is somewhat physical is comprised of atoms. Even the wind itself is comprised of atoms. So now, if we're all comprised of atoms, now quantum physicists wanted to actually get down to the basic, the root, the actual fabric of atoms themselves, because we're all comprised of atoms. So now let's find out exactly what atoms are made of. So it's like a regress of trying to find the ultimate level of reality. And they discovered that atoms, what every single thing that you know is made of, is comprised of 99.99% empty space. That every physical thing that you feel as if you're touching, that every physical thing that you feel as if you know that this is physical, this is physical. This touch that I'm feeling right now, the bricks that I'm feeling right now, the trees, every single thing that you have believed and felt is physical is nothing but empty space. So what creates the illusion of sensation, of feeling touch, is not actually birthed from the fact that you're touching anything. Here's another fact, that you don't touch anything. You never come into physical contact with anything. That lover that you hugged for a long time and you embraced, your partner, you never actually really hugged them. The dog that you were touching yesterday, the food, the fork that you were holding, the car that you were driving, you never actually touched. What was actually going on was that the atoms were very close to each other and they created what they call a repulsion. And when that repulsion is then created, it sends signals to your nerves and then you feel the sensation of touch, whatever texture of that thing that you are touching. So when you are hugging your partner, when you're driving your car, when you're typing on your cell phone, you were merely feeling repulsion. You were not feeling that object itself. So when you understand things like this, then you begin to wonder just how much our brains, our minds, our physical eyes are deceiving us at every given moment. That reality is actually more plastic than we've cared to give awareness to. Another experiment in which explains and reveals the plasticity of reality is a double slit experiment. Now, I'd urge you to research that because the way I explain it right now, it's not going to make actual sense until you actually research the experiment. But basically, double slit experiment is that electrons, subatomic particles, are physical. They remain as one possibility when you're observing it. But when you're not observing it, it behaves like a wave of possibility in which, okay, so basically they did an experiment in which they had two slits open. And then when they shot electrons through slits, then an electron would go through one slit, okay, when it was being observed. But when it was not being observed, it actually went through both slits. So when you're not observing physical systems, the reality that you're perceiving, it is open to quantum possibility, basically. It has no definite objective reality. It is just a run of infinite possibilities. So let me try and break this down a bit more so you can digest this. So when I am not looking at something, when I am observing something else, that thing is infinite possibilities. So let's just say I'm observing a red car, and then I look in another direction. When I look in that other direction, that car is no longer a red car, it's no longer a car, it's infinite possibilities. It's only when I observe it, it becomes locked into a particular isolated thing. So we are literally creating the universe by merely observing. By merely being conscious of the universe, we are creating it. So then now that gets you to wonder where the role of belief comes into this picture. That if I believe something so much, could I change the possibility of it when I observe it? The answer, of course, is a renowned yes. Since reality is a manifestation from infinite potential, you are infinite potential, and thus whatever you lock into your purview of what you deem to be real. And this goes beyond belief. I use the word belief, and belief is not really powerful. I can say I believe in God, and somebody could question that, and my belief could just fall because I have no substantial evidence to actually back that up. But if I say I know something, I know God exists, nobody can actually question the fact that I know something. You can question it, but it's not in the same breath as belief. But anyway, another experiment that was done was it's called quantum entanglement, when two subatomic particles were separated by vast distances. And whatever you did to one particle on either side, it immediately, instantaneously affected the object, the subatomic particle on the other side. No matter the vast distances that separated them, whatever you did to one particle, it immediately affected the other. So one of the conclusions to that was that it's the same particle. That whatever you do to one particle, you're literally affecting every other particle because it's still the same particle. So at the deepest level of reality, everything is the same thing. Everything is the same thing. That what you do right now, you are literally creating a ripple effect and changing every single thing in the universe. You may not see the evidence of it directly. Sometimes you can see that you are the cause of an effect, but sometimes you cannot necessarily see that, especially when you're dealing with intangible things such as thoughts. When I think in a particular pattern, I do not necessarily see it physically manifested into my physical experience, but it has an immense effect. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, every single thing is affecting the whole fabric of this universe. So when you truly understand that reality is plastic, you realize that you can mold it into your particular image. And what I mean by molding it into your particular image is molding it to your desires. And I'm not talking about frivolous desires here. I'm not talking about a desire where it's born in one moment and then it dissipates into non-existence the next moment. I'm talking about your heart's desires. Once you're able to view reality from this perspective, because despite all these discoveries, you can still perceive and live life as if it is what it is, that this is reality, and you don't question it. And reality will present itself that way. It will seem very concrete and it will seem very realistic. But once you step into that mold where you start seeing reality as something that can be molded, something that can be changed, something that's dreamlike, something that's holographic, something that's like a simulation, something that's not fundamentally real, then it starts behaving that way. Because reality, in essence, here's a truth that a lot of people don't want you to know, that a lot of ancient civilizations have known, is that reality takes its cue from you. Reality takes its cue from you. That you, as a total being, are dictating how reality presents itself to you. So you being this physical organism that you are right now, having 5 particular senses, there are more, but let's just reduce it to 5. You create the experience of a physical universe that delivers itself through those 5 senses. So because I have eyes, I create a world to see. Because I have ears, I create melodies to hear. Because I have touch, I have skin, I create different variations of textures. Alan Watts alluded to this. What did he say? That it's your eardrums that evoke noise out of the air. That you, by being this particular organism, call into being the whole universe of light, color, hardness, and everything. So reality presents itself to you by your particular image. And it's not only on the biological side, it's also on the mental side. So however you view reality from a perception basis, how you see it internally, will then determine how reality presents itself to you internally, perceptually, because you are what keeps reality going. Reality takes its cue from you. And once you understand that, you realize that reality is plastic, that you can change it at any given moment just by altering one thing. Okay, many things, in fact, many things. But alter one thing and it has an effect, it has a ripple effect, a domino effect on everything else. Alter your thinking. Change how you think. Change your particular point of view. See reality from a different light, from a different lens. And once you do that, it'll become evident to you experientially that reality is not what you have thought it to be, what you have perceived it to be, that it is actually infinite possibility, and whatever possibility you lock into becomes your experience. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to my video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And to end it off, as I always end it off, to those who seek no more, for in the present we find it all. Thank you very much.